Hello, Facebook Live. Marcus here. Jamie's in front of me. I'll catch up to her in just a couple of moments. We are out and about today. What's today's date, Jamie? The 3rd? Today's the 3rd. I got to keep my eyes on the ground here. I apologize. Be a little shaky. We just did a beautiful, really crazy hike straight up the mountain here with Courtney and Justin. We are in Lake George. Got a couple of 3 packed days here in Lake George. We decided to get away with the kids. First time we've been able to get away with the kids as a family since 2015. Our last trip was to Italy with the kids for Courtney's 16th birthday. Courtney's 21 now. So that was the last time we went away. So, and with Justin playing sports all the time, we have just never had a chance to like a family vacation since then. So we had 3 extra days this week and decided to tell the kids, pack up, let's go. Let's pack our road bikes. So we got 4 bikes on the car, pack your hiking shoes. We'll figure out where we're going and let's do something. So we just did a insane 1.5 mile hike up. Jamie, what's this called? Berry Pond? Berry Trail? It's where the rail system was here that took you up to the top of the mountain in Lake George. It's the old remnants of the rail of the, I don't know if it was a cog railway or what it was, built in 1875, are all over here. What is it?
We made it to
Prospect Mountain, top of Prospect Mountain from the bottom, from the lake. We made it up to the top. Courtney and Justin are still up at the top. We're ahead. We're going to go grab the car. Say hi, Jay.
Hi, everybody.
So we are...
The kids are going to stay up there. I didn't want Justin coming back down.
Yeah, Justin having his ACL surgery back in January. It's a little more difficult to go down, and it's wet, the trail, and it's slippery, so we're like, protect that knee. You and Courtney stay up top here. Protect the knee, and we'll be up with the car. We'll hike back down and come back up and pick you up. So, where are we going next? Springbrook, Jamie?
What? Springbrook Hollow.
Springbrook Hollow Distillery. So we're visiting a distillery that we know very well about. I don't think we've ever bought their products, have we? We've liked their products. We've heard about them.
And it's important for us to, meet and greet and, anything new that we're going to bring in has to be a place that we've been to. We have a connection to, have a relationship. So many different, spirits that we want to have. We want to now bring things in that mean something to us.
Right, now that we know, either cool, unique, or something that's local we can...
They make a coffee liqueur, a limoncello. I know they make some flavored, different flavored liqueurs. So super excited about visiting them. And they're expecting us shortly. So
I'm going to switch the camera here so people can see where we're going, while we're hiking down. Lots of mushrooms out here.
Much easier going down than it was.
Yeah. Lots of mushrooms out here. Saw a bunch of chanterelles. Saw a bunch of black trumpets. I don't have a bag. I'm not picking today. I don't even know what I would do with them for the next 3 days. We really don't have a refrigerator. So, but they're all out here. When we hiked Letchworth Park last week, we were at Letchworth Park last week. Wow, almost a week ago. Tons and tons of chanterelles were all over the place. And porcinis or boletes were all over. So... Tomorrow we're cycling to Glens Falls with the kids. There's a road that takes you up to the top of Prospect Mountain, which would have been a nice cycle ride, I guess, a nice up. What else is going on, Jamie?
Oh, we're talking about taking a boat out tomorrow.
Boat out tomorrow, yeah. We're going to rent a boat and pilot it. I guess it's a term if you drive a boat. It's called piloting a boat.
Yes.
We're newbies on boats.
Yes.
Had a lot of fun on boats recently in the last couple of years.
We're going to try to get to Sagamore.
For lunch?
For lunch, but I'm not quite sure how that's going to work if we rent a boat tomorrow. So we have to figure all of that out.
I almost actually worked at the Sagamore.
Yes, you did.
Quick story here. So, obviously, Jamie and I have been dating forever, right? We've been together since 91. Forever since 91. So it goes this way. And we were living in London. Jamie was doing her student teacher in London in 97. 96? 97. 97. So I went out to London with her. That's where I cooked dinner for Princess Diana when I worked at Mosman's. The whole royal family and all of them were members of Mosman's Dining Club. We're on the trail. This is what we came up. See the red blaze?
Yep.
See the red blaze? Okay, good.
I just wanted to make sure.
So when we got back from London, I applied to work at three places. One was Chateau Lake Louise in Alberta, Canada, in Banff. I applied there at the famous hotel on top of the mountain with the lake. I applied at the Broadmoor in Colorado Springs, right on Cheyenne Mountain there, base of Pikes Peak. And I applied at the Sagamore, in the Trillium Room. I was looking for decent cooking job. And all three places hired me. All three places offered me a position. So for a brief moment, we were going to move to Lake George, to the Sagamore. And Canada was out of the question because Jamie and I were engaged at the time. Go this way, Jamie. Jamie and I were engaged at the time, and her teaching in Canada, she was would have been a teacher at the time, graduating college. For her to teach in Canada was a little bit more difficult, and they would house me at the hotel, so I had no problem for housing, but they would not house her, and the closest town was 45 minutes away because we weren't married yet. And if you've ever been to that part of Canada, folks, it is beautiful. Lake in Banff there, Chateau Lake, whatever it's called. So I'm grabbing this tree here to go down. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But it's a mountainous road that gets you into the property, and it's a 45-minute ride into town, and that's where you'd have to live. And when the weather gets bad, it's not a ride into town. So that was scratched off our list, and we ended up moving to Colorado Springs, to the Broadmoor, which is where I cooked.
We wanted to move away from New York.
We wanted to move away from New York, like we want to now. So, like a lot of people want to now. So we wanted to move away from New York, so we tried Colorado. Me growing up in Colorado was nothing new, and working at the Broadmoor a few years earlier, it was a nice return for us to go back to the Broadmoor, back to Colorado Springs specifically. So, we came up with that. Yeah, okay, you got it? Good. Let me just come down this way where it's easier. And so that was our possible relocation to the Lake George area, the Bolton Landing, to the Sagamore. Sagamore Trillium Room was there. I think it's still open, the Trillium. I'm not sure. But that's always their fine dining room, one of the best restaurants out there at the time. Definitely top in their class, the Trillium Room. And so we're going to go trying to have lunch at the Sagamore. On a stay. We'll see what happens. We're going to get to the distillery this afternoon. We have an appointment with the owner of the distillery. He's going to show us around, taste some stuff. We've tasted their stuff before. Red Blaze. Yeah, go down the street right here. So, folks, this was a 1.5 mile hike up, and it was straight up. I cannot wait to run the vertical analytics on this because it was just straight up. As you can see, we're going straight down.
Talk about the family that we were with.
Oh, yeah, so this is great. So this has happened twice in the last 2 weeks now. So everyone knows that our kids are active. Courtney and Justin are extremely active. Justin playing baseball. Courtney's done horseback riding her whole life. They were runners at early ages. At 6 years old, they were out running 5 and 10 Ks. Justin ran a half marathon at 6 years old. Half marathon, 13 miles. So our kids have always been super, super active. That looks like, there's so many mushrooms here. So yeah, just keep following this path right down here. And we were on our way up, hiking, and there was a father with 2 kids, a 9-year-old.
You have to say what happened before that, though. We stopped at a point, and we were like, we trying to decide if we keep going.
We were trying to decide if we keep going because this is a really intense hike. Intense hike going up. There's a road that takes you to the top.
And we were worried about Justin.
Worried about Justin's knee. Right, his ACL, his knee, worried about that. So we were contemplating turning around and going back, and we came across this family, a father with a 6-year-old daughter,
And a
9-year-old son, who we discovered loves basketball. And you want to keep telling the story, Jamie?
Yeah, so we were, so we started listening to the father talking to his kids about we don't give up, we keep going. When you get to the top, you're gonna love it. And they said, well, we want a snack now. And he said, no, your reward is when we get to the top, you get a snack. And he was very motivational. It reminded me a lot about how we were with our kids, teaching them that you don't give up and you keep going. And and you know, you finish the job you've set out to. And as we were nearing the top, the top of the mountain, I could hear him say to his daughter, because the son was like running ahead with Justin. Right?
Yeah.
He's an athlete. I want to be first up there. And
They were talking baseball and stuff, about
basketball, soccer, stuff like that. So, you know, the father was saying to his daughter, you know, there's always going to be somebody behind you trying to push ahead of you. And I think this way, honey.
We can go right down this way. So
Okay,
I'm trying to avoid that little mud right there.
Okay, perfect. And you know, he said there's always going to be somebody behind you in life trying to push past you and to do better and be better than you are. And you have to push yourself to be good and push yourself to be better, and push yourself to get to the top. And it was very inspirational. And I have to say, he said to us, well, you got us to the top. Because I kept saying, come on, kids, you got this, you know, you got this. You know, as a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old. And you know,
the 9-year-old saw Justin and was totally like, okay, like here's a kid who just graduated high school.
Right.
You know, very athletic. That's what I want to be, you know.
And
Blaze over there.
And so I said to him, you know, you helped get us to the top. And he said to us, well, you helped us get to the top. So,
yeah.
you know, in life, it's kind of cool, right, to see stuff like that happen. But it's true. You need support system the whole entire way, no matter how much you want to stop or how much you want to keep going. You need a support system. And I just found that really quite amazing, to find people out there pushing their children to be better and better and talking to them,
teaching them not to give up.
Teaching them not to give up. So,
and the snack they got at the top was trail mix.
trail mix.
So it wasn't like it was Skittles or other candies. It was trail mix.
It was awesome. So it reminded us of the way we were with our kids, you know, when they were that age. And we also continued to push them the whole way up. I kept saying, how are you guys? You know, Courtney's 21, Justin's 19. How are you guys? And they made it. You know, we all made it to the top together, and it was a team effort. And so I kept saying, let's go, Team Guiliano, let's go. So
the week before, we were doing a bike ride.
You and I, yeah.
You and I, we were going from Monroe to Harriman. And on the bike trail, there was a couple, husband and wife, with a 6-year-old son. The father was training for a marathon, so he was running on the trail. Half marathon. The son was biking. Little boy biking, catching up with his father. He was 6 or something, catching up with his father. And the father would turn around, and then they go back to the mother, and they keep repeating this cycle, this loop. So we ran into him a couple of times, and we stopped them and said, you have no idea the valuable lesson you're teaching your son right now, how to be active and to accommodate your son with your training habits. Like, you can easily just go off, and the wife said, yeah, they run up, and he runs back and forth, the husband, on their street, and it's a small street, and the son just follows him back and forth. And it's like, to do a half marathon training or run a half marathon, he literally like runs up and down the street 100 times because it's a short street, and the son just circles with him and follows him. So we just stopped him and said, hey, you guys are doing an awesome job raising your son. You have no idea what kind of anchors that kind of stuff sets for life. And, you know, we did that with Courtney and Justin. You know, Justin was riding his bike. Yeah, careful here. Justin was riding his bike when he was like 3 years old, and I was running. And then all of a sudden at 5 years old, he goes, I want to run. That's what prompted his very first 5K. 2 weeks after his 5th birthday, 35 minutes and 35 seconds. I remember that day like it was yesterday. We were going to walk, run it, and he just took off and never stopped running. But it's just like feeding your kids the right food. You teach them so many valuable lessons. So we just stopped and talked to the parents for like about 10 minutes and just congratulated them and said, you have no idea what you're doing for your son right now. You're setting these lifetime memories, these lifetime anchors, these lifetime habits of being healthy, being active, and they're going to thank you for that one day. And your kid's having fun right now, and you're having fun with them. So it's just cool to see when parents are out there getting the best out of their kids, right? Including their kids, getting the best out of their kids. It's just great to see that. So we just always commend those people when they're out there doing it. That's one of the boats on Lake George we can hear. So Anything else, Jamie?
No, that's it. We're excited to be here. We're excited for, just to be with our family and to be away. And thank you everybody for watching us. I appreciate it.
Everybody who's on,
thank you.
Thank you very much. Just drop a comment, #live or #replay. Sorry we couldn't read anybody's comments or read who's on specifically because we are walking. But a bunch of you are on, so thank you for your support. Stay tuned. We'll be live later from the distillery. If there's service, there will be live from the distillery, Springbrook Distilling. They make amazing vodka. So we're out having fun with the family and doing some research for the restaurant as well. So that's it, folks. Have a great day. Jamie and I got to get back to the car and go pick up the kids. I think they started walking down the mountain, but again, we didn't want to. Walking down this and it's slippery with Justin's ACL. We didn't want to take any chances. It's like dogs. When dogs go up, it's easy, but when all of a sudden you turn a dog around on a steep trail, the dog's like, oh my gosh, because their nails slip. So, which we've been there with our dogs before. So we're like, just stay at the top. We've done the hard work. Don't want to do something stupid on the way down and slip and twist your knee. So all it takes is one stupid